Hello and thank you for attending my PowerPoint presentation on Firefly, also known as Sam of the Stellaron Hunters. She is a remnant of Glamoth's Iron Cavalry afflicted with entropy loss syndrome, so yeah, someone give her a hug, she really needs it. She is probably the single most hyped character in the history of the game, except maybe Sunday. And she is also one of the strongest characters in the game, too. At least when you add Harmony Trailblazer. Her base stats are actually really interesting. Her HP is the second lowest in the game. It was initially the lowest until Moatzo came out. Her attack is very low as well, tied with Sparkle for 52nd to 53rd, out of 60 characters, including 4 stars. But her defense is the highest in the game, even higher than Aventurine and Harmony Trailblazer, who has a weirdly high defense. Her speed is also above average, and her energy cost doesn't really matter. We'll get to that later. It's really interesting because her low HP and high defense, it's more of a thematic stat line, because she's a young girl who is afflicted with a disease, so she's frail, so hence the low HP. But then she has really strong armor, so the high defense. And another really interesting thing is that most destruction units actually have high HP and low defense. And Firefly is the inverse of that trend, which is, again, interesting. Her basics are basic. They generate 1 skill point and 20 energy. Her skill consumes HP equal to 40% of her max HP and regenerates a fixed amount of energy equal to 50% to 62% of her max energy. It then does damage to a single target and advances her action by 25%. This does 20 toughness damage. Her ult first immediately advances her action by 100%. Then she enters the complete combustion state. While in complete combustion, her basic and skill are enhanced, her speed is increased by a huge amount, her weakness break efficiency is increased by 50%, attack targets also gain 10% to 22% break vulnerability until the end of the action, and she cannot use her ult again. So basically, a countdown appears on the action order, which has 70 speed. When that countdown acts, she exits complete combustion. Again, this costs 240 energy, but it doesn't matter since her skill regenerates a fixed percentage of the energy anyway. Her basics just restore health equal to 1/5 of her health, and then deal damage to a single target. This does 15 base toughness damage before the weakness break efficiency. This does generate 1 skill point, but no energy. Her skill restores health equal to 1/4 of her health, and applies fire weakness to the main target. Then she does blast damage, equal to 30 toughness damage to the main target and 15 to the adjacent ones. There's also some weird break effect scaling, which frankly is very insignificant. And this consumes 1 skill point and again does not generate energy. So her talent gives her damage mitigation as her health decreases. When her health is 20% or lower, it maxes out at 20% to 44%. During complete combustion, this is always at maximum regardless of her current HP, and she also gains an extra amount of effect res. Additionally, if her energy is less than half when the battle starts, she regenerates energy to half, which is really nice, so she will always get her first ult after a single skill. Also, once energy is regenerated to its maximum, it immediately dispels all debuffs. This is mostly so that when she ults and action advances herself, she doesn't instantly die to dots after draining her own max HP. This is also very nice because, again, you're draining 40% of your max HP in order to get into complete combustion. So this helps you survive. The effect res is also nice too. Her technique causes her to leap into the air and move freely for 5 seconds, as you can see. Then, after either 5 seconds or when you choose to, she plunges down and immediately attacks enemies in a huge area. At the start of each wave, she applies fire weakness to all enemies lasting for 2 turns and does some damage and toughness damage. During complete combustion with her A2 trace, attacking enemies without fire weakness deals 55% of would-be toughness damage. This is mostly for the blast attack, like the two side peons, since, you know, the main one implants fire anyway. For her A4 trace, when she's in complete combustion with greater than or equal to 200% or 360% break effect, deals 25% or 50% super break damage when hitting weakness broken enemies respectively. Her A6 trace gives her 0.8% break effect for every 10 attack that exceeds 1800 without limit. So at 2800 attack, she gains 80% break effect for free. She also gets 37.3% break effect, 5 speed, and 18% effect res from minor traces. So her E1 causes her enhanced skill to ignore 15% of enemy defense, which is not that strong on its own, but is great when added on with Iron Cavalry, her signature set. And also does not consume skill points, which is really big considering she's going to be running with over 200 speed. So her E2 gives her an extra turn when breaking or defeating an enemy during complete combustion. This does have a cooldown of 1 turn though. And this 1 turn does not include the extra turn that was just given. Her E3 gives +2 trace levels to her skill and +1 to basics. This is even less significant than usual because her traces really don't matter. Her E4 gives 50% effect res while in complete combustion. Again, this is kinda bad, like it barely matters. Her E5, for the 3rd Eidolon in a row, barely matters. It gives +2 trace levels to her ult and talent. And her E6 further increases the weakness break efficiency of her enhanced basics and skill by 50%. They also get 20% fire res pen for good measure. So I want to mention the CN meme you see on the top right. So basically, her tagline and her enhanced basic voice line in CN is 我将点燃星海. Well, this translates to about, I will set the sea of stars ablaze. So the Xinghai part, which is, you know, the Sea of Stars part, sounds very similar to Kokomi's Chinese name from Genshin. So Kokomi's Chinese name is Xinghai, which is slightly different, but basically the same. So basically, CN players have been memeing about this since her tagline was a thing, that the Firefly has been setting Kokomi on fire. Anyway, she must be protected at all costs. I saved 144 pulls for this, lost every 50-50 along the way, and went to soft pity 4 times to get her E1. Personal anecdotes aside, she doesn't do a lot of hit damage, but that super break damage is obscene. Like, she does a lot of toughness damage. Like, her enhanced skill at base does 30 toughness damage. Now, when you add on her inbuilt one from her ult, that's plus 15, so 45. Then, if you add on Ranmei, that's 60 toughness damage. And considering she's gonna have like 300+% break effect, that is absolutely insane. Like, other break characters also, they need like 1 trace to be leveled. Meanwhile, Firefly works with literally everything at level 1. You can leave everything at level 1 and it won't be that much different. Although you will need minor traces, those do make quite a difference. Her super break core is also incredibly bulky compared to most teams. So, your standard super break core is Firefly, obviously, and then Harmony Trailblazer, Ranmei, and either Gallagher or Lingsha. Neither Harmony Trailblazer nor Ranmei scale off attack, so they can put HP or defense main stats, which makes them pretty bulky. Firefly, again, she has her talent, which gives her damage mitigation, and also naturally very high base defense, which also makes her pretty hard to kill, plus her enhanced skills also heal, which is really nice. Now Gallagher is similar with the other two, in that he skills a break effect, and so he can put a HP or defense orb. Her super break core is very comfy to play, which is very nice. Alright, hope you enjoyed. If you did, do like and subscribe. If you want to learn more about break in general, I have this video detailing it. And if you want more PowerPoints, you can check out the playlist. Alright, bye.